And we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, Mary and I are joined by Chris, Brad, and Teresa, all from Buck Mountain Barn, and also from two of the three are from Reseller Therapy. And we were going to have Corey join us, but unfortunately, he's under the weather. So hopefully, you'll be feeling better real soon, Corey. And sorry you couldn't make it, but
I hope so. It's sourcing day tomorrow. You better feel better.
Right. Hopefully you get better. Don't let work get in the way. But again, just rest and feel better. The thoughts are with you. All right. So anyone who's new to the channel, or if you haven't been watching the last few times, what Mary and I have been doing is getting together with other YouTubers who have live streams and just have a little kind of get together with them and talk about how having live streams and developing a personal community enhances their experience with reselling, helps their reselling lives, because it definitely does, and just in general, creates like a meetup kind of mentality, because we are a meetup channel, obviously, and meetups presently to attend to. We've been doing this format and just getting together with some resellers. So I'm going to introduce Chris and Brad and Teresa from Buck Mountain Barn, Pickin N Grinnin, and they have a live stream every
Thursday.
Thursday night at 8, I got my notes here, at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then and they are joined sometimes with Leroy, as Teresa says, sometimes. So maybe.
He was invited too.
And then
he's traveling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then also Chris and Brad also join with Corey on Reseller Therapy, which is an interesting format. It's kind of like a work with me kind of video where they go on for 2-3 hours, and basically they're just hanging out, and we're all hanging out, and they're fixing things. And sometimes there's no conversation for a couple of minutes. Someone chimes in, but it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it because I get a chance to just have 2, 3, or 4 of my friends on the screen, and you don't even think about it. Something comes up, you want to ask a question, or just make a comment, and we give us an opportunity to have some company when we do our work. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce everyone and just kind of give us an idea of a little background. We'll start with Teresa, because ladies first. Always.
Yes, please.
So I am one half. I won't even say the better half, but I'm one half of Grams of Pops Vintage. I do the Buck Mountain show with the guys. That's pretty much it. We just work, and we don't play. We just work.
Yeah, we play a lot.
And the Tuesday show. So I just have to make a comment about the Tuesday show. That's just to force the guys to make it look like they're working. I don't think many of them get anything done during that time frame. I think it's just to make it look like they're working. Right, Chris?
No, I work.
Okay, that's all about me.
Okay.
Good. Woman, a few words tonight, Teresa.
I am.
Right.
All right.
You
Why don't
can't
we,
get big blood.
Why don't we continue with Chris? Just a little idea. Tell everyone who might not know you.
I'm Chris. I go. My YouTube channel's Buck Mountain Barn. Everything's Buck Mountain or Buck Mountain Barn. What Teresa's referring to, every Thursday night, me, Brad, Teresa, and Leroy, sometimes when he feels like he can make it, we have a show on there called Pickin N Grinnin, and it's more grinning than it is picking. Of course, I take that back. It's more picking on me and grinning, everybody else grinning. So it fits either way.
Come on.
So, but we have a really good time on there. And then, of course, on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have another. Corey and I started a channel called Reseller Therapy. And it's mostly me, Brad, Corey, and Teresa. She'll be in the background occasionally. Leroy will be on there, and it's actually an open room. So we post a link in the chat, and anyone that comes in there in the chat, if they want to join us, they can click on the link and join us. And we just kick back and we work, we talk, we answer questions when we see the chat, because we're really not standing here looking at a screen, but we do try to answer questions when we can. And it's just like a motivation. That's all it is. Motivating people, motivating us, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I like that format where, it's kind of like an open mic where anyone can just step in and be part of it as well.
Yes, sir.
And that's nice. Because, again, all of these things just encourage the community, to get people comfortable with even people who might not even be on YouTube, right? It's open to anyone. And if you want to just kind of like take the plunge and get a little comfortable in front of the camera, it's cool, right? And then you're really
no pressure.
part of it. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
And people can almost jump in and out of the chat, because I've seen you guys go more than 3 hours, because it starts at 1:30 Eastern. Reseller Therapy does, but I've seen. I get off work at 4:30, and you guys are still going sometimes.
There are some days that we have went to 5. There's some days we went to 4, and then there's days like yesterday at 3 o'clock. We cut it off early. That was my fault, by the way. But
Yep,
It's
we're
only
gonna blame Chris.
it seems like a long 3 hours seems like a long time, but for me and Chris and Corey, that's the only time we work every week is those 3 hours.
right.
I was not gonna say that. I was not gonna say that. But I'm sure Tanya would agree with me.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that is that Brad and Corey have backups to work for them. And if I don't work those 3 hours in a week, I'm just up the creek without a paddle.
I'm gonna call you the backup from now on, Teresa. You're the backup or side piece, whichever works best for you.
Thanks, Brad.
See the appreciation you get, Teresa?
I know.
Brad, your turn.
My turn. Yeah, my name is Brad. My wife and I together would be Black Sheep Society, along with our son Isaac, and we just travel around the country picking up Playmobil and doing eBay and online sales and yada yada yada. And then met Chris probably about a year or so ago in a live with Eric OBX Picker, and then Chris invited me on, and I decided to come on and help him on his show, Pickin N Grinnin a little bit. And then him and Corey put together the Reseller Therapy thing, invited me in. And it's mostly just 3 hours of me working and Corey and Chris chatting while I work or drive.
If you guys want to see Brad get inside a picture box and take pictures, that's the best time to do it. I
don't think I've ever seen him do that unless I just don't pay attention.
You never seen him crawl up inside that thing?
You were probably at the post office when I did that. So.
Oh, maybe.
So let me just ask you, you guys, what actually led you to even start reselling? Then we'll start getting into the live stuff.
Who first? Teresa, go first.
Yeah, we'll go
Ladies first.
in order. How about that?
Okay.
Ladies first, or Teresa, whichever.
Bradley, man, it's
Sorry.
not pick on Teresa. It's supposed to be pick on Chris.
Okay.
So
Well,
Corey and I owned a company, an online website that we sold tiny house stuff in. And we just decided to get out of it. And, what do you do when you have money that's not money that we had enough money saved up that gave us a year to figure out what to do. Oh, my phone's over here beeping. What to do. And so he's just like, well, how about let's just try reselling? We have a selling background. We did sell, like I said, we drop shipped and stuff like that. And so it's just, hey, what do you do? And we didn't take any money out of our pocket when we first started. He actually had a 1971, I think, Dodge Charger that he had ripped completely down and was getting ready to restore. And when we moved up here, we had to go get it, to bring it back up here. And it was such a pain. And he hadn't touched it in 5 years before that. So he's just like, let's sell it and we'll just use the money from that to get it started. And that's what we did. So now we just sell on eBay.
Awesome. You want to tell us about the other site you sell on?
Oh, the one that nobody's going to tell? Oh, that site. I thought you were talking about Corey's new store. So we do also, besides, see, somebody else brought it up. So now I get to say it. So besides selling on eBay, that is our primary place that we sell. Us, Corey and I, and Happy Heart Treasures, Donna and Steve, and Alicia Ink Picker. We claim Connor, Alicia's husband, in there too, but he doesn't resell. And then Jess and Zena from Resell the Ride. We started a dollar auction, theDollarAuction.com. It's a place, all auctions start at $1, no matter what. They could go, we've sold stuff for up to $75 on there, and some people have sold stuff for more. But one last plug on that before you go to Chris. Friday and Saturday, we are doing Christmas in July on theDollarAuction.com. It starts at 2:00. Both days, Corey and I are kicking it off at 2:00. It is all Christmas stuff, and I am behind because I have not even listed anything on there yet. So that'll be my goal tomorrow, I think, is to get in there and get all my stuff for the Christmas in July listed. So
good luck with that. I just want to make one comment about that, and I know Ken is in the chat amongst others. So Ken's influence has finally been shown. I mean, it's funny that when Corey and Ken had the reseller clickbait, actually, this one, yeah.
He pulls it off.
Corey would also really razz Ken all the time about Christmas in July, right? And saying that Christmas is only for after Thanksgiving, after we eat. But here you are now using that Christmas and idea concept, which I think is a good idea. So, Ken, you've prevailed.
Doesn't mean he's still a Christmassy person. That's why he's doing it in July. No, Corey's favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, but he loves Christmas too now that we have grandbabies and we're able to celebrate with them.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that dollar auction. And that's a great site on District, one of the district sites.
See, I'll let him say it, but I'm not saying it.
Well, I'll say I've sold stuff on there, Teresa. So it's
on the dollar auction.
Yeah.
Oh, have you? See, I don't go in and look at static listings. Hardly ever. So Corey keeps track of all the pluses, minuses, and that stuff for that for our group. So I couldn't tell you who's all sold on there unless you do a live show, and it happens to be when I'm like, there's 2 live shows going on tonight. I think Shane's got one going and Amy Beach by Repeat's got one going after that. I don't typically pay attention because it's on nights that I record, so I don't get to watch anybody. So
okay.
On those nights she's a big deal.
You're so funny, Brad.
That's ornery.
So before we go any further, what happened? Did you put too much arsenic in Corey's food today?
I don't know. I try not to poison him. I fed him sushi, so maybe it was just the crab or the avocado that was in it, because we just eat the basic stuff. We just do California rolls. We don't do the raw tuna, the raw lobster, whatever else they put in that stuff. I'm a crab person, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So we should draw attention to that. Mike's birthday was on Monday. So
and
I know we celebrated a couple weeks ago, but happy birthday again, sir.
Yeah, we celebrate also on my birthday. You might not be aware of this, but I tell you, that's why I love this community. I mean, like I've always said that basically my group of friends are predominantly on YouTube. So what they did was, so in addition to the reseller locker room honoring me a couple of weeks ago, a little prematurely, with a surprise birthday bash on their channel live, which was cool. Mary says, well, you know what? Your birthday shouldn't be ignored either. So for my birthday, we just had a little, it wasn't published. It was just kind of private, but I just, opened up a link on StreamYard at 8:00. What was it? What was my birthday? Wednesday? Monday night. It was my birthday. And it went 7 hours.
Oh, wow.
3:00 in the morning. We had people coming in and out and everything. So it was kind of fun. So
that's a long time to be online.
And they were still raring to go at 3 a.m., 3 in the morning. I just had to say, look, I can't stand to sit anymore. My eyes are like really drooping.
That was only 1 o'clock in the morning for Archie. So
well, yeah, that's right. No, Archie was the only one who had any reason to have any energy, but everyone else was East Coast bound. And I says, look, I really appreciate you guys coming and spending the time with me for my birthday. And I feel bad and having to bow out, but I just couldn't handle it anymore. So I said, look, I'll leave the stream open because it was my stream. And, you guys talk as much as you want. And in the next room, as I was falling asleep, the next 45 minutes or so, they were still chatting, going on and on. So I wouldn't have been able to make it. So
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
That's insane.
How about you, Chris?
What was the question again?
Oh, how'd you get started in reselling before we?
In reselling. Well, so, man, that's kind of a story within a story.
Yeah.
We have time.
I'll try and narrow it down a little bit.
He borrowed a car.
Yeah.
And he needed to get rid of it, so he sold it.
Sold it. Yeah, there we go. We'll stick with that story too. No, it kind of does. It actually kind of involves a car. So I'll say when I was doing some on the side, I had a
He had a side piece too.
yeah, I had a side piece. I better not say that. I had a side job. Rephrase that. I better not say that. I'll get someone beating down this door here in a little while.
Right.
I started. I had a. It's not really a construction company, but I had my own maintenance company, I guess you would say, where I go around and do remodeling and stuff like that. And I do some. I wouldn't do new build homes, but I build decks and build not outhouses, but buildings and stuff like that for elderly
They
folks.
don't have plumbing there in South Carolina yet.
Yeah, no, this is in Georgia. So
They definitely don't have.
yeah. We was in the mountains, so we was up there in the Deliverance part of the state. So we had to build outhouses up there.
The banjo section.
Yes, sir. So I was doing that, and at the same when I was cleaning out homes, doing remodels, I was taking metal to the metal recycling place and getting paid for the metal. Me and my son was breaking the metal down and doing that, and that was kind of my side thing. Well, one day I come up on a dump, and there was a crate full of Hot Wheels, and my brain's not thinking eBay, and my brain's thinking scrap, right? Well, because they're metal. And I take them home, and my wife just says, why don't you just look up and see if you could sell them on eBay instead of taking them scrap? And I was like, eBay? What are you talking about? And so I looked up on YouTube, and I was watching YouTube, and on the home screen, it's amazing. My FBI agent is amazing when he can hear what I'm saying, because I was just scrolling across my YouTube, and I got a reseller video. I made $1,000 in a week selling Hot Wheels. And I'm like,
curious,
what?
Who was it?
Huh?
Who was it?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. So I was like, really? And I even pointed out to my wife, I says, look, our FBI agent's working overtime. Because we've never seen any kind of reselling videos or anything before on YouTube. Never. So I watched it, and the light bulb just went off, and I put them on eBay, and guess what? I got almost $300 for a crate of Hot Wheels that was old. I had no idea what I had. I mean, I'm sure now that I look back, I'm sure I had some black walls, some red lines, and some good stuff in there. But I put them up for auction, and that's what they went for. What really sold me on eBay was during the pandemic was I was still doing the scrap thing too, but I done worked out a contract with a local thrift store to where instead of them throwing away their small appliances, pots and pans and stuff in the dumpster, I had a bin out there, and they would throw it in that, and I would go pick it up. And me and my son, we would break all that stuff down and take it to the recycling place, and you get good money for pots and pans, but not as good as you could on eBay.
Wow.
But I've come across an old crock pot, and I don't know, it was during the pandemic, and I had seen a knob on eBay sell little crock pot knobs. And this thing was like from the 70s. I couldn't salvage anything else. So I just put that knob on eBay and sold it for $15 plus shipping in a week. And the light bulb just went off. I mean, I was like, what am I doing? So I started selling on eBay and been doing it ever since. Been doing it full time ever since too. I didn't just gradually go into it. When I went into it, I dove head first into it. So
And that's where the brain damage came from.
what's that?
I said, and that's where the brain damage came from.
Probably. Well, see, I had no choice because when the pandemic hit, lumber prices went through the roof, and so normally a back before the pandemic, a normal 2x4 package for a new I can't remember the square feet of a home was right around $3,500. That was the 2x4 package for the home. Well, after the pandemic hit and the lumber prices, that number went up to $9,000. Well, not only could I not afford my customers could not afford the material, they couldn't afford to pay to have the jobs done. So I just pretty much let that go. I got out of that and dove right into eBay, man, and just and then we can get into later mistakes I made in the very beginning, but or you can watch my channel and figure that out, But
Chris, what was the knob for?
A crock pot.
A what?
A crock pot.
Okay, just checking.
You know that thing you cook food in all day?
Yep.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Just checking how you said it.
Hey, he ain't got one of them word of the day buttons, so just quit.
I know. That sucks.
All right, I'm done, Brad.
Well, just real quick, shout out Lux Garage. He does a Tuesday night show, and there's a lot of focus on Hot Wheels in his show, and he's a big Hot Wheels guy.
Oh, okay.
You know what time his show is?
Huh?
You know what time his show is?
I think it's at 9:00 Eastern, Jason. I think it's changed a little bit over time, but can you shout that out in the comments? Because I think it's at 9:00 Eastern now. I think it used to be at 8:30 Eastern.
Lux Garage.
See, you guys are throwing me off because you keep talking about this Eastern time. That's like not normal time. You got to talk about normal time, not Eastern time. I don't know what Eastern time is. I know what normal time is.
Are you Central?
I am Central.
Okay,
so wait a minute. He's 8 Central time, so that would be what my time?
9.
Oh, you're Central?
9.
Okay.
And that's on what nights is that on?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I got to meet Jason at Alex's house when I went up to see Mike and Mary.
Yeah, that was a nice little after party, after meetup.
Yeah, at the Beard King Picker's house.
Yep. We were the basement crew.
Yeah, we had a good time. That was a great way to end the meetup. I tell you, it was a nice meetup, and then after it was all over, we usually have a little bit of despondency, a little sadness that it's over. We still had that to look forward to, and we spent a good 3-4 hours, 5 hours after all was said and done. People came and went, but it was really nice, and that's what's the great thing about the meetups. I mean, no one ever wants them to end. That's the one downside to meetups. I always say I love every aspect of meetups, but when it comes to the end of the road, it's sad to say goodbye. But you know what? We have a great community that does stay in touch even after the fact, and we stay in touch throughout the year. And there's always another meetup, around the corner that we can come and check out. And so it's not like it's the end of something. It's always the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point.
I thought about doing a meetup, but I mean, all we be doing is picking corn around here because I wouldn't know what else to do.
Well, you just went to a meetup though, but it was a couple hours from your house.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's about a 2-hour hangout. I actually got to meet Josh and Haley from Harry Tornado. And of course, Shane, Soda City Flips was there. I got to meet, I think it's 2K Flips, Kristen and Chris. One Thrifty Mom, and then I can't remember what Chris is. I think it's 2K Flips. I got to meet them. So, Brad, you're next, man.
All right. Well, so mine's kind of broken down into a couple of things. So I work for a nonprofit, a church specifically, and if anybody's ever worked for a nonprofit, you know that benefits aren't really much part of the package. So, there's no like retirement or anything like that. And so, for me, eBay actually started as I would make things to sell on eBay. I would make these wall hangers out of this foam and paint them up and sell them. They were like sports logos and stuff like that. And so I would sell those on eBay to make money, and just different things that I sold I would sell on eBay. And then we had, this is probably probably around 2005 or so. There was a bookstore in our town called Hastings, and it was kind of like a Barnes and Nobles type store. It was a chain of stores, and they had some Star Wars sand crawlers that they had there, and they kept marking them down. They had them on clearance, and they'd mark them down. And I finally decided if they get down to like $12, like if they get in that $12-ish range, I'm going to buy them. And so they got down to like $12.75, I think, or $12.50, and there was 3 of them left. So I bought all 3 of them. And my plan was I was going to give one to the boys, to my 2 boys. I was going to give them to the boys, and I was going to sell the other 2 to pay for that one and a little cash. It was just, I hadn't really heard of anybody flipping necessarily on eBay or anything. It's just because I knew how eBay worked. I was like, I can do that and sell those, and sold it and did good. And then I didn't really, I would just sell stuff I had on eBay. And then a lady at our church, because I didn't grow up, my family, we didn't grow up going to yard sales. I didn't even know what a thrift store was. We never went to thrift stores. We were the kind of family that, you worked all week, and then on Saturday you just stayed home and worked. You didn't like go places and do things. And but I heard she got to talking about selling on eBay, and I'm like, I was asking her, she's our treasurer asked her, I said, well, what do you sell on eBay? And she started, well, I go to like the Salvation Army and the Goodwill. I knew what the Salvation Army was, but she said, I go to the Goodwill, and she said, I buy clothes and I flip them on eBay. And I'm like, I never thought about that. It's like, that was just like a new thing. Like thinking about, there was a place you could go by, and her and her dad went yard selling every Saturday. So I just started, kind of doing that here and there. And then I saw on YouTube, I saw guys like Rake and Profit and Pete Craigslist Hunter. And, way back in those days, it might've been like Bonafide Hustler and people like that. A lot of the show, like Commonwealth Picker hadn't started his channel yet. There's a lot of people just didn't exist in the space yet. And so I saw Rake and Profit going to thrift stores and doing stuff. So I went to the thrift store the next day after watching one of those videos, and sure enough, I found like $100 pair of antique shoes and a couple other things, and took them home. And like, I really thought, oh, this is easy. I just, you could do this. That was before everybody kind of got in on the game, and and so that was my first run, and I funded every bit of that I did I sold like I had like a little CD collection for a band and stuff, and like some memorabilia, and I sold that in a lot, and that was the seed money to do everything we did on eBay. And then I kind of like eased off of it after a little, a year and a half, 2 years, I kind of eased back. And then my wife she had homeschooled our children, and she was getting close to getting her last one graduated. And she was kind of she's like, I guess I'm going to have to get a job or go do something else once I have extra time on my hands. And I kept trying to talk her, and I was like, well, look, just this thing that I kind of started on eBay, we could just keep working at that, if you want to do it. And of course she was worried about shipping and all those things, but I worked with her, and she kind of got up to speed. And make a real long story short, she actually takes care of me now. So with eBay, and
She's your sugar mama.
she's my sugar mama. She makes more money than me. She does. I'll say she does more work than me, even though that's probably not true. But she does more work than me. She does all the heavy lifting, and I just pack and ship basically.
Okay.
So you're just a shipper now. You're not even a reseller.
I do list. Hey, Chris has been throwing that around about a lot of people. You may start dropping names, Chris. I see. All that bravado went away real quick, didn't it? I know where the bodies are, Chris. You better hush.
Yeah. Wait till you see my new video that drops tomorrow night. My new video drops tomorrow night. It has Tammy in it, and we have a clip of a phone call that I had with eBay in it.
I have heard the whole thing. The whole thing. It's quite interesting. Watch it.
Let's just say we're going to be praying for that poor eBay lady.
Did you watch it, Brad?
No, but I just
Tell
know
me what
I
I
can
just-
completely imagine how that went.
I just took one little clip out of there that's part of the video I made this morning and added to that. It's probably like a 1 minute clip. It's not what
That's it?
yeah.
Man.
It's only the part about the cancellation.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the only part. I didn't put nothing else in. The video is still in my private things, but I haven't released it. I don't think I'm going to. I was told it was too harsh.
Who told you that? My husband?
Yeah, him and somebody else did.
Tucker.
I said something today in my video I had to completely take out because Tammy said, you can't say that. You'll get sued. I said,
Ooh.
okay, well, I guess I'll take it out. You'll probably figure it out when you watch it, though.
So, but for everybody watching, Chris is always on the edge of a lawsuit with everything that he says. Especially Teresa and I having to walk him back off the ledge every week, being like, "No,
Yep.
reel it in, bud, reel it in."
Yeah, if anybody watches Mike's channel, man, if y'all want to get a good laugh and like watching other people pick on one person, like to see 3-on-1 pick-ons, come join us on Thursday night.
We only do it when you ask for it. That's only
That's
when you ask
right.
for it.
That's all we do. We don't ever do anything unless you ask for it, Chris. And you
Yeah.
tell us every day. You tell us every time before we start, okay, I'm up for it. Just that nobody else can see that you tell us that.
Somehow I don't recall those conversations.
Selective memory.
Yes, that's what it is, Mike. Selective memory.
Now, how did you get started doing the Buck Mountain live show? Just how did you guys all get together? I know Brad touched on it a little bit earlier, how he wound up involved, but
So let's see. I was doing videos. Well, my first, like my very third video.
My very third?
Yeah, my very third video. I went off on another reseller. I just like went on a rant about another reseller.
See, he didn't have Teresa and I to pull him back from the ledge, keep him from doing things like that.
And the other reseller, that video got over.
He responded.
Got over 4,000.
You can just say he responded.
Yeah, he responded. It got over 4,000 views, and he responded on one of his lives, and it was
I apologize. Hold on. I'm going to apologize in advance because this is the kind of stuff that comes up during our Thursday night show. So I apologize to Mike and Mary in advance. Some of these people come in our Thursday show and they bring this shade like this.
Yeah,
and it's very embarrassing.
I apologize. Yeah,
He was referencing.
I hope you
something.
didn't rate this PG, Mike. You might want to rate it like
By the way, Todd was
17
referencing
or something like
Todd
that.
was referencing something that Chris said about 5 minutes ago. So
I know.
yeah, I just didn't draw any attention to it.
So I had that video, and then he acknowledged the video in the chat, and because people wanted to know who it was, and I wouldn't put the guy's name out there, and the guy just put in the chat said he's talking about me. So then I was watching one of his live videos, and I commented on something he said. It wasn't even about what it was, and then I don't know if he did it intentionally, but inadvertently promoted my channel in his live by saying, hey, that's the guy that did this, and this. And the next thing I know, the video, got more views, and I got like 300 subscribers in like 2 days.
oh my god!
And I was like, holy cow. So I was like, well, I wonder if it's just like this kind of content, Well, I did a couple more videos kind of like that kind of content, and I decided real quick, fast, in a hurry that that just wasn't me. I didn't like it, I don't know. Maybe it's because I was trying then. In the first one, I wasn't trying. I was just truly upset, So they did okay, but then I don't know. I just got watching other ones, and I want to tell you what inspired me to do Pickin N Grinnin was Cat and Nurse Flippers live on Tuesday nights, because I was sitting there thinking, watching hers. I says, you know what? I can do that. I can start a live. I got 400 people, 400 subscribers. We can start a live, and we can we can ask questions and this and that and the other. And yeah, this is no problem, man. It was tough. It was tough. My first, let's see, Leroy somehow found my show like in my second video that I was doing. I mean, it wasn't called Pickin N Grinnin then. It was called Speaking My Mind or something like that. And
Maybe you should have left it that.
and Leroy come on, and Leroy said, "Hey, I'll join you, be a guest." So Leroy got to be he was a guest, and then he ended up staying. You know, I asked him to stay if he you know, I knew he was on Reseller Information Network, but I told him, I said, "Hey, whenever you can come by, you know, I appreciate it." You know, and he did. So I actually true first guest on the show was Rachel Strickland, and then Brad. I met Brad in we was on a live together in District for a one-stop shop, learning how District operates and stuff like that. And Brad and golly, OBX.
Teresa knows all about District.
Shut up, Brad.
Knows all kinds of stuff about Trish. Man, I'm sorry. Eric, OBX Picker. It was me, him, and Brad. And I just asked Brad, I said, "Hey, how would you like to be a guest on the show?" And he come on the show, and I liked Brad immediately because of his demeanor and his attitude. And of course, he's got all that Star Wars stuff in the background and made good background, you know. And we had pretty good topics. So I asked him if he would do it with us, and he said, "Yeah." And it's been a completely different thing ever since Brad come on. It's no longer Speaking My Mind or anything like that. And so it's been me, Brad, and Leroy, and we actually had another guy, Brandon, 540 Flips.
540 Flip.
Yes, he was on for a while. And then he had some family stuff he had to do and all that. So he wanted to spend more time doing stuff with his family and stuff. So he left. And it was just me, Brad, and Leroy. And I could just, when I could pull guests, or Brad could pull guests, or Leroy could pull guests, it was that way for a while. And then it just dawned on me one day. I was like, you know what? I was watching Teresa and Corey's video, and I looked at Tammy. I said, she needs to be our fourth.
Corey said no. And so
Corey told me no. He said, "Don't you do it. Don't you do it." But
Really?
I don't listen to Corey. No, I'm just
Did he
kidding.
really? Yeah, Corey.
I was saying he asked Corey, and Corey said no.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did ask Corey. I get what you're saying now. He did ask Corey to be on, but Corey was on the non-existent Reseller Clickbait podcast and the Unemployed for a Living podcast at the time.
Corey was doing a whole lot, yeah.
And so he was like, "No, I can't do it. I can't do it." So I guess I'm second best. So I guess then they asked.
Well, actually, there was a time frame between you and him, you know.
Yeah.
Between asking, and then it just dawned on me, just clicked on me. I says, that's what we're missing. And I will say this: those of you who've never watched Pickin N Grinnin, ever since Teresa come on the show, it's all Teresa now because the show has got more views. The show gets more views. It's more spicier. If you're looking for reseller content, come by. You might get about 10 minutes of that, but the rest of the 2 hours is you never know. You never know. So
you don't.
We have a word of the day. We have a
what do you mean? No,
of the day. Huh?
Yeah, Chris's word of the day. What's Leroy eating?
Yeah, and then Leroy's eating. Grams, you're a hot.
I'm a hot ticket. I guess they were the only ones that asked me to be on. I mean, like Corey, he's been on Cat's show too, but it was just Corey, not Teresa, just Corey. So I told him this is my chance for fame.
Yeah,
to be on Pickin N Grinnin.
You got it.
It's all famous now.
Oh,
so that's how Pickin N Grinnin got started. You know, I did Pickin N Grinnin because I wanted it to evolve around. So I've been Buck Mountain Barn for so long, I really don't even like the barn part anymore. I just
You
want
removed it from your channel, didn't you? I thought last time I looked at it, it just said Buck Mountain.
Yes, now it's just Buck Mountain, but we still have the barn. And then the Pickin N Grinnin was around that whole concept of not when someone hears Pickin N Grinnin with a barn, they're thinking of the banjo picking and all that. That's not what it was. That's not what was in my brain. My brain was picking, like going out and picking products, and grinning because you're making money by grinning, you know. So that was my idea, but it's turned into picking on Chris and everybody grinning, you know. So I mean, but hey, it's fun. It's fun. We really enjoy it. And really the other mindset behind it is I thought I had enough experience, and up here was telling me, hey, you got enough experience that you can help other new resellers out. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's what my channel was attempted to do. I'm learning really, really fast that I don't know everything. I do know a little bit about a whole lot, but a lot of times I'm wrong too. And sometimes you should just probably just change the channel. Don't do what I do. You know,
Oh, no.
I get better as the day. I get better as the days go on. I learn fast, and things change fast, and I'm learning. And I got a good crew, Corey, Teresa, even Leroy, and Brad there. Man, they support me 100%, and they give me great ideas. They help me. So hey, I mean,
Honestly,
I'm returning the favor with them.
like we'll give Chris like props later, but really the show is just really a reaction channel. You ever seen those reaction channels where they react to a song or a movie or another video?
Yes.
It's really just a reaction video channel where we react to everything Chris says.
And you know, it's a lot of fun too. That's why I love the format of your show, because you know, people want to learn a little bit, but we don't want to have like 2 hours of just instructional videos. Although there are some formats that are just that, but the format like yours is like, it's just hanging out, you know, with real people, and we see each other make mistakes, and that's fine. You know, it's just kind of like community building, in that we have an opportunity just to hang out with our friends and our peers and learn a little bit and interact. That's why, again, I love the live format, because everyone has an opportunity to be part of it, you know. And like
my thoughts was just let it be organic. Like,
yeah.
You know, we're resellers, so we're going to talk about reselling, but that's not all we are. You know, there's other stuff that goes on too, and so just let it live and breathe and be what it's going to be.
It is. So
exactly.
Chris tries to tell us that we have to have topics every week. Like, he'll be like, okay, we're going to discuss this week. Yep, 5 minutes we discuss that, and then the rest of it's just
we got a topic. We got a topic for tomorrow night too.
Oh, but nobody tells Teresa what to do. So we just do whatever.
That is correct. That is correct.
So how did it evolve into starting the new channel? Because the Reseller Therapy channel is its own.
Well,
thing. Chris knew that Corey didn't like to do listing and stuff, and so he just says, "Hey, Corey, do you want to come on and make it look like we are working?" And they were like, "Yep, let's do it."
And Teresa, I know you kind of you're not technically on that, right?
Nope. But he does. So typically when Corey's recorded any of his podcasts or whatever he does it in his office in the house. And so when he comes out here, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. This is my area. Like this is my area. Like, this is right here where I'm recording is my photo booth. You know, it's where I take a majority of the pictures that we take for stuff. And so when he comes out here, he's in my world. So you get what you get.
Are you plugged in?
Bother you?
What, Brad?
I said, does that bother you?
No. Sometimes so we get into arguments about it, because like I have one of the portable photo booths with the white background and everything. Currently it's full of crap. So I can't take pictures in there. But he'll come out and he'll wander around because I'm sitting here taking pictures, and then he'll go in the house and I'll come in and I'm like, well, why didn't you stay? Well, because you're in my area. Like,
yeah.
No,
so the reason I asked that is because, like, sometimes when I walk out here, Tanya looks at me like, what are you doing out here? Why are you here?
I do that too. I ask Corey will come out here every once in a while when I'm out here, and I'll be like, what do you want? Why are you out here? Yeah. I do that too.
I had that problem.
I wish I could be out here more. Like the last couple of weeks, we've had a project going on at the church. So I didn't get to do any reselling. And then all I've done this week is reselling related. Took a big road trip to pick up some stuff. And
yeah, like 8 hours from me. And he didn't even drive the rest of the 8 hours to come see me.
Shame on you, Brad.
And I've just been packing I've been packing all day today, everything that sold the 2 days while we were gone. And
Yay.
so
Flip it ain't easy. Hello.
Did you at least take Tanya with you when you went on your road trip, or did you take Isaac?
She got to go this time. Yeah.
Did you see? So Teresa, did you not watch yesterday?
Watch what?
He had Tanya in the back of that car in a little bitty spot like this. She was sitting there like this in the very back. Well, go back and watch the video. You'll see it. You'll see it.
I can't help it. I'll show you. I'll show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on this picture or not. Probably not. But
well, you sent that picture to our group.
Yeah, you can see every nook, every cranny, everything is filled except for the little spot where Tanya was sitting and me and Isaac were sitting. I mean, it's literally just.
Hey, now you should have shoved Isaac in the back in that little spot and let Tanya have a front seat.
So we wouldn't be married very long if that happened, because she literally is a nervous Nelly and says stuff about everything that's happening on the road, and I'm getting irritated. And
she's a lot like Corey. I don't like riding with Corey either, because he does that. He's like,
it's distracting, isn't it?
Did you see that? Did you see that? Yes, it is.
So like, whenever somebody does this the whole time, like,
right,
and you're like, what did I miss? And it's like,
I just tell Tammy, look, if you can do it better than I can, I'm more than happy to give up the driver's seat and I'll sit over there.
I tell Corey that, but he doesn't like to drive. So
yeah, Tammy don't either. So that's what I deal with.
So
and when we go sourcing, I am the driver and the navigator. Like, I have it up on my GPS right here. When we go garage sailing, he drives, he's the driver, but I'm the navigator. How does that work? We both have GPS. So yeah.
Tanya and I have come to the conclusion that we are Corey and Teresa, and that Corey and Teresa are us. But like, there's parts of Teresa and I that are very much alike, and then there's parts of Corey and I that are very much alike. But the funny part is that those opposite parts are Tanya and Teresa and Tanya and Corey. So it's very, we're like somehow like some weird, like, we're doppelgangers.
Hybrid or kindred spirit.
We're doppelgangers is what it is.
So I thought my windows were down.
Let me just do a little promotional segment here while I got John from Flippin' N Easy in the chat. I'm reminded that there are a couple of meetups coming up in the next couple of months, and the first one is going to be sponsored both by John from Flippin' N Easy and myself in Las Vegas. It's going to come on the heels of the eBay Open, which is the 12th to 14th of August, coming up in about a month. And then on the 15th and 16th, we're hosting a little informal meetup, no cost, just kind of a dinner Friday night, and then some activity. I think we're going to do some miniature golfing, I believe, is going to be the activity. I got to really nail down all the details. And then some thrifting opportunities Saturday, Friday during the day, and Saturday during the day. So if anyone happens to be going to eBay Open, or if you happen to be in Las Vegas that second week in August, come on by. We're just going to get together and have a little dinner and hang out and do what we do best, just network and share ideas and everything, and just get together and have a little fun together. If you are interested, go to our Facebook page. Mary has set up a registration form, and it is free. No sponsorships or anything like that. But we just ask that you do register so we can get a head count, an accurate head count for making a reservation for the dinner on Friday night and for the golfing on Saturday. So that's on our Facebook page, the Mike Metco Meetups Facebook page. Now in September, the Reseller Locker Room guys, being assisted by Mary and I, are having a meetup also in East Tennessee. And that information is also on our Facebook page and on the Reseller Locker Room's Facebook page. That is September 26th, 27th, and 28th. We got a whole bunch of people already signed up, some nice sponsors. Also, it is another free event, and they've really put a nice schedule together. The schedule can be found also on the registration page as well. So mark that on your calendar if you happen to be in the East Tennessee area for a reason, or it's even worth. I mean, I'm flying out. Mary's driving 6 hours to get there, and it's going to be a good time. So check that out as well. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I was just gonna say, if anybody can't find anything, just message me on the Mike Metco Meetups Facebook page. Just message me there, message me on Instagram, and I can help you find everything. But the event page is on the Resellers Locker Room podcast group, so it's under the event tab, and it's got all the information there. But yeah, let me know if you need any help finding anything in, or the registration for Las Vegas. And just another shout out, Chris Nutter is having one in Vegas also. It's at the beginning of August. If you just go to Chris Nutter's Instagram page, it's under Christopher Nutter, then you'll be able to find information about that too. Sorry, I didn't have that written down, but shout out to that if you're up in that area. So that's free to hold,
Vermont area.
In Vermont.
Vermont, you said Vegas, yeah.
Oh, I accidentally say Vegas for him? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Vermont. I did actually know it was Vermont. so that's actually 3 different areas, opportunities for meetups no matter where you live.
Is there
Are they having one in Tennessee too?
That's the one in September 26th to 28th in East Tennessee. Yeah.
Is anyone doing one in Greenville, South Carolina by any chance?
No.
Well, yeah, she's doing another one. Where you went last month, I think she's doing that every month.
That's a monthly.
Yeah,
that's a seller group meetup.
Yeah, that's in Lexington.
Meetup.
Yeah, that's about 2.5 hours away from me. I was just wondering if there was any South Carolinians gonna do one in Greenville, or even Spartanburg, that area there. That'd be nice. That's pretty close.
Chris, get that started.
Yeah,
I don't even know where to start with that. I mean, it'd be cool, but I have no idea.
You just pick a place that can hold a whole bunch of people and just say, "Hey, do you want to come meet?" So we did this. We didn't know what to do either. I mean, besides Plains to Profit. But when we did, so we go down to Nebraska for the Bargains for You on 92 with Steve and Donna and Alicia, and we're like, where can you go that you can meet up and you can just sit around and BS with other resellers? We picked a pizza ranch. We just had them put us all in the back room of a pizza ranch. Everybody came in, you bought your own buffet, and we sat back there for like 2.5 hours and just chatted with everybody. So just pick a pizza ranch. I don't know if you got pizza ranches by you, but
that's all it takes, really, just an idea. And just to be a little self-promoting here, one of the purposes of our Facebook channel is to be a kind of collection point for all meetups. So, Mary's very good at keeping that current. And the meetups can be small or big or anything in between, or if someone wants any information, they can contact us. And if you have something that's going on, whether it's a big or a small meetup, just let us know and we'll post it. And that's part of our channel. And I
don't mean to interrupt.
That's
it's
right.
Lightning and thunder in here, so if I lose power, you know why.
Okay. All right, good. And I just wanted to acknowledge, I knew he was in there lurking. Where is it? Corey is finally making his presence known.
He's monitoring. He's my
better.
He's my FBI monitor, Chris.
He's like the fact check for Teresa. He just fact checked everything.
So glad you can join us, Corey, and I hope you're feeling better, sir.
Yeah, seriously, Corey. Hey, I just want to shout out. Chris actually found out about the one he just went to from our Instagram page. So, so in turn, if you start one, hopefully other people can find out about it through us or through you promoting it. Whatever, we can all promote it. I'm sorry, Teresa.
Oh, so I was going to say, Tina from the Lake Exchange, she put on there too that she had just gotten approved by eBay to start a meetup group. Mm-hmm. You can do that as well. You can actually go out to eBay. I don't know how to do it. I know we looked into it when we were talking about doing, seeing if they would sponsor Plains to Profit or whatever, that you can go on there and you can actually put a meetup on eBay or do however, and other eBay people in your area can then go to it.
It's very easy. All you do is go to sellergroups.ebay.com and you'll be immediately contacted with that portion of eBay. that sets up and supports these seller groups for you, and they're all over the country, and it's very easy to set up. And eBay will kind of do a little bit of setup work for you. They'll provide you with a list of people local to your area, so you can contact and set up these meetings, and then they set up a Zoom call for you. And a lot of these seller group meetups are just that. It's just once a week, once a month, third Tuesday of the month, whatever, and you just post the time of the meetup, and then you just hang out like we're hanging out right now, virtually. Or some of them will go and set up, face-to-face meetups, or they have hybrid meetups as well. Like when Vicky and Trish Glenn from List Perfectly did a 10-stop meetup across the country a couple of months ago, and these were all eBay seller group meetup locations, and some of them were like hybrids, where I went up to the one in Boston to meet with them, and there were like about 20 people in attendance, and there was like another 15 people on the screen in their in their Zoom call, and we all kind of got together. It was a nice little quick little meetup, and they did that 10 times. They had gone from Boston to Las Vegas in the course of like 13 days, and they had 10 meetup schedules. So that was like a lot of fun, a lot of meetups all at once. So it's very easy. And even if you don't want to set up a seller group meetup through eBay, you can use that facility, sellergroups.ebay.com, and you can just find out where there is a local meetup in your area. So you can use that either way, whether you want to start one or you want to just attend one. And eBay is pretty good at that. I mean, they keep that database going, and then they will even supply your meetup group with like some free stuff to give away to.
Yeah, they did that. They did that for the one that I went to last month.
Yep. So that's the seller groups, how it works. If anyone has any particular questions, want us to help you or walk you through it, again, get in touch with us through our website. I mean, through our Facebook page or Instagram page, and we will help you out with that as well. So plenty of opportunities to stay in touch with the community, whether it be through through YouTube or whether it be through different social media sites, or even eBay sets up this seller group meetups. And there's dozens and dozens of them all over the country. So if you happen to be traveling, to a different area, you can just go on that site and just see where's their local meetup that's happening. And it's small and it's not really advertised that well, but you'll find out where it is, and you can maybe get a chance to meet up with some of it, some of your peers anywhere in the country.
Yeah, it seems like almost every night there's something going on somewhere, because I'll check on that and promote just randomly. I don't always promote every single one. Like Kathy Terrell, she has one in New York. Every time I look at it, it's already sold out. It seems like hers is just sold out for weeks and months on end. So it's probably just a specific group that always meets, and they just always know that they're going to go. And Chris, I want to tell you, I will check on Greenville or Spartanburg and see if there's anything already started there. But yeah, you just got a lot of great tips to start one if you choose to do that. So it sounds like you do get a lot of eBay support and support. All of the rest of us would promote it also, of course.
Sure.
So what is everybody's experience with in-person meetups?
I guess I can go first. We did the Trash to Cash in Vegas, like 3-4 years ago, however long ago it was.
4 years.
And then my favorite one was doing the now I can't even think of what it is, in Cincinnati.
The rally, Reseller Rally.
Yep, the Reseller Rally. That one we met a whole lot of other people, and we just got to chit chat with everybody. Got stuck on a boat that you couldn't go anywhere. Once you're on it, you're stuck to talk to everybody. So and then we do Planes to Profit. We did Planes to Profit 2 years in a row. So that's mine.
Yeah, mine is just mostly all local. We got several resellers in our church, and I know several of the resellers in our area, and so just meeting them like that. But as far as like traveling to a meetup, the closest I've gotten to it is going up to see Mike and Alex and Jason and CJ and Mary, G.I. Joe, that group up there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've only been to one, and that was the one I went to last month. The little one that's about 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive from here, down in Lexington, South Carolina. And it was pretty fun. It's at a coffee shop. You know, like I said, I got to meet some people I haven't seen before. Got to meet some new resellers that are just getting into it. That was a lot of fun talking with them. They was amazed by what we sell as resellers, what kind of things we can sell, you know, and they was pretty amazed about that. So it was a lot of fun, especially to meet new people that I haven't met before. So I would like to go to like the one that was in Nashville. I wanted to go this past year, but we couldn't go. I want to go do the 127 this year. For 2 years, I've been saying I'm going to do it and hadn't done it. I did go to the 50-mile yard sale last year. Then it's Columbia, South Carolina. And I met Eric, OBX Picker down there. I met, that's the first time I met Shane. Of course, I got to see Leroy. I've met Leroy several times. I've been to where he lives, been to his warehouse, left him stranded, and all kinds of stuff.
This is a little footnote to everyone's experience with meetups. Please don't get the idea that to have a successful, meetup kind of experience, you got to jump in a plane and travel 1,000 miles, or get in your car and drive 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 hours, which people do. That's just one aspect of it. I mean, meetups are what you make of them. I mean, they can be as large or small as you choose. Like I said, we had talked a little bit about the local eBay seller group meetups. That's one way to go. And even if you don't want to do that, I mean, like I go to yard sales, garage sales, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the season, and I run into like the same people from time to time. And I make it a point to like get to know these people, and that's really local people. So I can have a meetup when I have my own garage sales. They all come. It's a lot of fun, and it's as simple as that. The whole idea of a meetup in essence is just you want to get together with like-minded people so you can enjoy similar shared experiences with, because as we all know, otherwise the reselling game can be a little lonely. It can be a little solitary, which is fine, but we do want to reach out. I mean, it's a different environment than to like an office environment where you have the water cooler where you can kind of hang out a little bit or go to lunch with your peers. We don't have any of that. So whatever we can do to bridge that gap with the rest of humanity, or at least our reseller humanity, however it might be, is a big plus, because as everyone has shared, the benefits of these meetups are multifold. I mean, you get some camaraderie, you get some company with people, you have a good time, you have some laughs, you share ideas, you learn from each other, you have different opportunities to share your resources or source with other people and all of that. So take every opportunity you can just to reach out, however it might be, to get in touch with our fellow resellers. And even if you don't do any of that, the idea of these lives is another opportunity to do just that. I mean, just from the comfort of your homes, watching people on the screen, interact. And I encourage everyone. I've been putting everyone's up on the, featuring everyone who comes in just to say hello and acknowledge that they're here. And I encourage everyone to, I think just put out everyone's has really chimed in, but use the interactive chat as another opportunity to have a meetup. One of my favorite things that when we cover the meetups that we attend, I generally will do a live stream right from the ground at the meetup, and those are really great because I think that's one of the best services that Mary and I can provide to the community for people who might, because everyone wants to be at all of these big meetups, but sometimes it's a little cost prohibitive, or you don't have the time or the resources to do it, and people experience FOMO. They say, I really would like to have been at that meetup, but I really can't for whatever reason. We provide you an opportunity, and we're not the only ones. There's usually 4 or 5 other YouTube channels who do similar things and cover the meetups and show people what went on, the speakers and the sourcing and the good times that we have. But when we have, I make it a point to have a live stream right from the ground, right from the meetup itself. So now people who have not had an opportunity to go to that meetup can actually attend the meetup in virtually, of course, and they can, we get as many of the attendees from the meetup on screen to interact, and then we encourage all the people at home to ask questions or just to share their thoughts and ideas, and get a little feeling that they're at the meetup, even though they're not. So, and we'll continue doing that. I really enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say on top of that too, once you make friends with resellers, so like back to the dollar auction, the people that are all in that created that, we are all people who have gotten together at reseller events and have gotten to become friends.
Yeah.
And we even had one, I have to plug this, but so Tara and Josh, Rebellious Roads Resale, they live in Tennessee and they came up for Plains Profit this year, and they decided to go on vacation. And guess what? They came up and hung out for 3 days. I mean, we hung out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just hung out with other people. That it's nice just to be able to be around other people that do what you do, understand what you do, and think, well, not necessarily always think like you do, but understand what you do, instead of like your family who's like, oh my gosh, you're a reseller. Yes, I'm a reseller. So
no, so true. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Josh and Tara at the reseller at the Plains to Profit meetup as well, and like so many things that would otherwise not happen if you didn't go to a meetup. I mean, I had the pleasure of meeting Mary at a meetup, and then from there, this whole channel, grew from there. So, and all the other people that I've met, and it's just great. I can't talk enough about it. How things that happen when you get to meetups, just by virtue of being in this close proximity with people, and you talk, you exchange ideas, and and the relationships don't end with the meetup. Typically you take all these people home with you, and you stay in touch with them, and then you meet them on the chats, or you meet them at another meetup, or you stay in touch by phone or by email or whatever. And it all starts from getting together, individually with people at meetups. Can't say enough about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's kind of crazy to think a lot of these people, the podcast, for instance, now have all three of you met in person?
no, I have never met Brad, and I have never met Chris.
And Brad's been promising to come down here, and then he'd rather go to Iowa.
Like I said, he was 8 hours from me and didn't continue on to come see me. So
yeah,
I'm just kidding, Brad. I'm just kidding.
So
now, me and Brad both have met Leroy.
Okay.
I've met Leroy.
Yeah, so yeah, we've all met Leroy. Leroy's met us all.
I referred to him unknowing to me. So this is how much I know about. I don't watch a whole lot of reseller YouTube content, but Corey used to watch the Reseller Information Network all the time, and I'd catch bits and pieces of it. And they always made comments about Leroy being a dog catcher. I swore up and down Leroy was a dog catcher. So when I met him in Cincinnati, I'm like, oh, you're the dog catcher. He's like, no. I'm like, but you are. You are to me. You're the dog catcher. So, yes.
Now, were you talking about Riverbend Resale a few minutes ago?
No, not Riverbend. We have met Riverbend. So we met. It's they're new to reselling. It's Josh and Tara. They are Rebellious Roads Resale.
Rebellious Roads.
I have met them twice.
Yep.
Met them.
They're from Tennessee. They just started selling, I think, back in August, September of last year. So almost a year. And then Tara just recently got laid off from her job. So now she is a full-time reseller while Josh works full-time. So
okay. I knew somebody had the Resale Rabbit shirt on, and so there were all these pictures of him with.
Yep, that was Riverbend Resale.
Okay, I got that.
I always get confused because I know Resale Rabbit, and I wrote his name wrong at Plains to Profit, and then you get Riverbend Resale, Rebellious Roads Resale. I don't know whether it's resale or resell. So that's as far as I go.
Well, I know it's Resale Rabbit. I do
Yep.
know because I have watched him for years. Like Mike hadn't heard of him, and I was watching from home when Mike went live from Planes to Profit, and I about had a heart attack when he showed up on the screen.
Oh, he's gone 2 years in a row. So both years we've had Planes to Profit, he has come. He came by himself last year. And then this year he brought his fiance. I don't know if they're married yet, but he brought his fiance with him. And so she hung out with us as well. And, you know, he's a fun guy. He's very, for as young as he is, the business world is his, I don't even want to say it. The business world is his to take because he definitely does it. So
Yeah, he has some amazing hauls, and then he always does that warehouse sale. He's just he cleaned out Toys R Us stores, the red
Yep.
boxes. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, he does all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's now if anybody in the chat has any questions for these guys, please shout them out. And also if anybody knows of any meetups coming up that we didn't shout out, please let us know about those. So
Hey, you know, you asked me earlier when Pickin N Grinnin started,
yeah.
and I was talking about that, and I said that like I started the thing with speaking my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The very first video was on September 22nd, 2023.
Okay.
so almost 2 years ago.
Almost, I can't believe I've been doing it that long.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And you guys were one of the first people to have Mike and me on when when Mike started the channel. So we definitely appreciate that.
I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
Give us a start.
I made
well-
that. I think it just popped in my head, and I made that joke on your birthday live that Mike was like the Bigfoot he's the Sasquatch of the reselling community.
Oh yeah.
It's like this. He's this legend that everybody's heard of, but nobody's ever really seen. And then it's like I knew the name Mike Medco, Mike Camparelli for like probably a year and a half or 2 years before I ever even saw Mike. And then when I saw he had started a channel, I reached out to him to get him on. So
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate that.
we found Bigfoot, y'all.
Yeah.
For real.
We found
Well,
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, yeah.
That's right. Well, I want to make sure you guys shout out your live shows again. I don't know how long we're going to go, but Mike, if you have anything, but I didn't have any other questions specifically.
No,
Oh, y'all got time limits?
No time
They
limit.
don't have time limits.
No.
Some
Dude.
run for hours upon end.
Yeah, I went 5 hours on a live with Mike
That's right.
after.
That's right.
Holy cow.
Yep. Here we go. As long as the people won't have us, I'm not. Well, last night on my birthday, I got a little tired after 7 hours. But, and I tell you, I was like shot after about 3 hours. But I toughed it out. I wasn't gonna. If they were there to hang out and have a good time on my behalf, I wasn't gonna be a party pooper.
You have to like Leroy. Leroy just take the camera to the bedroom and just lay there and sleep.
Yeah, right.
Could have did that.
Well,
Sometimes they crawl under his desk.
Look, we just give Teresa some good content to talk about. We can last a couple hours on that alone.
Hey, now, what are you saying? I talk so much? No.
I'm going to get it tomorrow. We love Teresa. She's fun.
Yeah, we all love Teresa.
Teresa's fun.
I am inappropriate sometimes, so I apologize if I am. But that's how I grew up. I am, you speak your mind. I don't necessarily have a filter. I try to have a filter, but I don't always have one. So
Teresa's like my fifth sister.
Do you have 4 sisters, Brad?
I have 4 sisters. Yeah.
Well, I'm one of 9 between full and half siblings. So
Yeah,
I know all about that.
I got 3 half, and well, I guess the other one's kind of half too. But anyway, my family's got bastard children all over the country. So
Lord,
I'm just one of them.
And
Man.
for those who don't watch Pickin N Grinnin at the barn, if you can make it through the whole thing, even if you don't make it through the whole thing, just watch at the end. You will get a recap via prayer on everything that happened throughout the whole show. So you don't even have to watch the whole show. You just have to watch the end. You'll get the recap and a prayer by our own Pastor Brad.
You won't, but see, I've learned from making those little short videos that unless you watch the show, you won't get the prayer. You won't understand why you won't understand why we're laughing our head off.
That is correct.
You know, and poor Brad, he's having to say it's fake prayer so he don't get struck by lightning or anything.
And he did it in the church the other day.
Yeah, he did it in church, yeah.
Now you said 540 Flips was on your podcast initially.
Brandon was on earlier on. Yes.
Alex, correct me if I'm wrong. He that's who was on yours at the very beginning, right? Because I've been watching the locker room since the very beginning, and
I think he was on the locker room for a little while.
I think Brandon was on there.
Okay.
The first 2 episodes, yep.
I thought it was. I knew it was Brandon. I thought that was it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where Archie was on then too. Duh. I guess I could have.
Oh, by the way,
never heard of him.
Service announcement for everybody: use your eBay coupons.
Well, that's right.
Oh,
the third quarter just started on the 1st.
Oh. Yeah, I know, because Tina was just talking about ordering boxes.
You know what? I didn't use my coupon.
You say Cena, like John Cena, or Xena?
Tina.
Who?
Tina from the Lake Exchange.
Okay.
Tina.
You're talking about John Cena.
I mean, you fixing to not be able to see John Cena. He's retiring.
You'll still see him.
Yeah, he'll be
just
in movies.
Maybe not wrestling.
I watched a movie. Tanya and I watched after we got back from Iowa last night. We watched.
You watched that new movie with him in it?
Yeah, Heads of State. Him and
is it good?
Idris Elba. It's just a shoot 'em up fun kind of comedy thing. Don't expect too much, and you'll be.
Don't get excited.
You'll be satisfied.
You'll be satisfied.
That's my response to any movies that come out. Hey, but
Yeah.
on the positive note, did you see? I'm a big Fast and the Furious fan, so I'm a huge Vin Diesel fan, and so they're actually doing a final for that as well. They're going to bring back.
When is
Paul
that
Walker.
one coming out?
I don't remember.
It should be a part 2 of the last one.
It is. It's the final to the Fast franchise.
Oh, really? So they're gonna kill everybody off. I'll be darned.
No, they're gonna bring Paul Walker back. I think
How
through
you
his
gonna
brother.
bring Paul Walker back? He's not even live in real life.
No, I know, through his brother. His brother looks a lot like him.
Oh, okay. So hey, did everybody have a good 4th of July?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I got something for you. Just a second.
I have all my fingers.
Oh, that's good. I got to watch my oldest grandson in a parade. That was really cute.
Nice.
Aw.
Yeah, that was my
Here you go.
highlight.
Here you go, Chris.
Uh-oh.
This was on Route 66 yesterday morning when we passed it's the pink.
Send me that picture. You're
It's the
supposed to
Pink
send that
Antique Antique Mall.
Yes,
I thought of Chris as soon as I saw this. I don't know if I can get it to.
Brad,
Oh,
you
right
may
there,
not-
right there. Who is that?
We don't need to go there here, Brad. This is
like
my
a,
channel.
That's like
This
a
ain't
30-foot tall Donald Trump.
ours.
So, Chris, April 2027 is the finale for Fast and the Furious.
Okay, cool. I need to watch it. April 2027. That's like 2 years from now.
2022.
Holy cow. It's like the new Star Wars coming out, the new trilogy. It's going to be in 2027. Is that the pink thing? What is that, Brad?
That's Alvin and the Chipmunks there. It's hard to see, I guess, but
Oh, that's cool.
here was the coolest one. Let me see if I can. For me, anyway. Yeah, I
Is
don't
that
know.
like a hot dog bun?
No, it's a spaceship. It's a UFO, a flying saucer with a couple of aliens.
That's what I thought it looked like.
Oh. Well, how do
Oh,
they
that's
know that's what
super
aliens
cool.
look like?
Yeah, or they had like a Shoney's Big Boy. It was all kinds
Brad,
of
put your hand in
Bob
front of
Bob.
your camera. You went blurred.
Oh yeah.
Now you gotta put your face all the way close so we can get it in there. No, not behind.
There you go. Oh,
I don't think it's gonna fix. It's got an auto. It doesn't even have an auto zoom. I don't know why I did that. I'll turn it off. There we go. That's better. That works.
Never look
Now I
better.
can just make faces.
Brad, by the way, I forgot. Archie had asked me to give you a virtual hug, bro. So here's a hug.
Love
in
it.
the chat. All right, I'm gonna go. I guess we'll kind of just start winding it down. I want to give everyone in the chat, if they'd like to sign off or make a final comment or any questions or whatever. And in the meantime, we'll just wrap it up with the panel. I do want to thank everyone in the chat for joining, and certainly thanking these fine people for joining us tonight and share a little bit of their experience with their channels and how the community has been developed through their channel. And I really, really appreciate it. So stay tuned. We have a bunch of great guests coming up. We're scheduling them. All people that will that do have YouTube live channels. We kind of get their spin on it, and everyone's a little different. We're all the same, but we have different slants on things, different ideas. So it's great to experience everyone. And you will be seeing me do some coverage next month at the Vegas meetup where John and I are sponsoring, and then in September the East Tennessee meetup, where that's going to be a great one. In fact, pretty much everyone all the hosts are in the chats. CJ Benz and Alex, and that's it. And Mary and I. So I would give everyone an opportunity on the screen to give us some final thoughts or anything you might have to anything you want to promote, or mention your channels again if you like, and then we'll sign off.
Oh, you're not starting with me, Chris.
Doesn't matter. No formal. Nothing formal here. We're not going to start now. Yeah, right. Chris, why don't you start?
All right. Well, I don't even know where to start. Okay, Tuesday afternoons at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come by Reseller Therapy. You'll be able to watch me and Brad and Corey. And if you want to jump in with us, it's an open chat. It's an open video, whatever it is. The link's there. You guys can come in and join us and work with us, because that's pretty much what we pretend to do, or we do, whatever we're doing, is we try and work. Really trying to motivate each other. If you have questions, you can ask us. I'm not the most experienced one, but the others are, so they got all the answers. On Thursday nights, if you like the three of us here, and then there'll be Leroy when he's around. If you like the chemistry we have, come by and visit us there at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, we have a lot of fun there. It's just fun. It's almost like a break from work. So, and then I got videos coming out. We're going to start releasing them on Thursdays also. It's me and my wife. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat at the same time I'm talking, which is not good. Because it bumfuzzles me. Anyway, so hey, yeah, come by Brook Mountain Barn and visit us, or come by Reseller Therapy and visit us.
Chris's word of the week. What did you just say? Did you say bumfuzzled?
Bumfuzzles me.
Bumfuzzled.
That's
I've
the saying I've heard.
that.
I've heard this one. I've heard it.
Well, that's still.
See, Brad.
I've usually heard it. I've usually heard it in the bad. I've heard it in the past tense. Bumfuzzle. That bumfuzzled me. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have to do a shout out real quick because I just saw somebody in the room. We have Tina Bina, the better half of Dave, ADH Dave, in the house.
Oh, really? Oh, hi, Tina. It's nice to see her.
So for me, I guess I'll go. Same thing as Chris. I do appear every once in a while, actually probably most weeks, on Reseller Therapy. Pickin N Grinnin at the barn. That is my chance to make fun of Chris, as well as everybody else on the panel to make fun of Chris. We do I gotta think of what it is. Grandpa's Vintage. We've dropped videos. Grams and Pops Vintage, we drop videos every Wednesday. Thank you to my husband because I have nothing. I help him record them, and that is as far as it gets. Everything else after that, any editing that's done is put on him. I do not do that. I don't know what else. Besides, like I said, Christmas in July 11th and 12th on theDollarAuction.com, starting at 2 p.m. normal time, or as other people say it, Central Standard Time.
All right, and I don't have a YouTube channel.
Yes, you do.
Yet.
Well, I
No,
have.
he does have a YouTube channel.
There's just no videos. There's no videos. But if you want to go subscribe, I used to joke I'm going to be the first person with 1,000 subs and no videos. So you can help.
You could be.
help make
Hold
that
on.
dream
You could
come
be
true.
like Caleb. We could do a challenge that says when Brad gets 100 subscribers, he's going to drop a video, or he's going to go live on his channel.
We'll do that. Yeah, I'll drop. Actually, I'll probably drop a video in the next few weeks. So I've been
You're gonna
saying that
drop
for
a
while.
video in the next few weeks?
Yeah, should I make it a promise so it
I'm
happens?
gonna call BS.
Yeah.
If I say I promise, then I'll do it. But until you hear me say I promise,
I don't want you to make
Is
promises.
Tanya listening?
Probably not. She's reading a freaking book. Can you believe that? People
Who does
reading a
that?
book. Yeah.
Read
She reads
books. I
all the
thought you
time.
listened to audio books.
She's probably irritated because I took over the room and she didn't want to be out here working while I was talking. So, but no, I'm here to support Chris and his whatever his mission is, and I'm here to support Corey and Chris and whatever their mission is on that other show. And
Brad, that's kind of dangerous because I don't even know what my mission is.
I'm here for color commentary. Actually, I'm put on this earth to protect Chris from himself. And most of my job is being like, yeah, you might want to rethink that, or you might want to think that through a little more.
Yep.
But no, I appreciate everybody in the reseller community. I appreciate Mike bringing people together the way that he does, and appreciate that he's got Mary to help him do that. She's the queen of all things Instagram, I think, for my medical meetups.
Absolutely.
And she's good about promoting Chris's show and the Reseller Therapy show. So yeah. But
she comes and hangs out with us. I see her name in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she gets around.
Mike's been there too.
Get around.
Oh, yeah. In the reseller community, I'm talking about. Get your mind out of the gutter street.
Teresa and I are like over here going.
I apologize. See, Mary thought the same thing too. So it was not just me. It was not just me.
We are a bad influence on these guys, Teresa.
I am.
dang, if you knew what we were editing, guys, you'd be really happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start rating our show on Thursday night, rated 17 or.
Oh yeah, you can see as
17?
we get started talking, you can just see the flush rising in Chris's cheek little by little.
Yeah.
He's worried about his channel. He's like, oh my God. Oh,
That's not the moonshine working.
Hey, look, I will say this though. We had oh my God, Mike, help me, Brad.
Death Pile Picker.
Yeah, we had Death Pile Picker as a guest on our show, and I was like, holy cow, I was so nervous. But you know what? That was probably.
Oh yeah, I
invited
Mike on, and then when Chris found out who was coming on, I think he was a little worried.
He's a sweetheart.
He should be.
He's the easiest guy in the world to get along with.
Yeah.
He's also another one that does not have a filter. So be prepared. What is in his head is what's coming out of his mouth.
You know what Mike did. So I was worried about it, man. I was worried all week about it. I'm not gonna lie, Mike. If you watch this, I'm sorry, but I was worried about it. In the last minute, within hours of the show started, Mike texts us and tells us something has happened and he wasn't going to be able to be on the show. And then the next thing I know, guess who's on the show?
Commonwealth Picker.
Yeah, Commonwealth Picker.
All Mike had to do was just say, I can't make it, because he was dealing with a sickness and a death in the family or something. It was one of the two different times. All he had to do was just say, I can't be there, and it would have been good. But he got somebody to fill a spot. And that told me pretty much everything I need to know about Mike right away. He's not the kind of guy to leave you hanging. So.
And of all people, he picked Kevin. And so Kevin was on the
Which
show.
made all of Chris's wildest dreams come true.
Well, it's not every day you got a millionaire on your show, your podcast show.
Right?
So, but no,
He will tell you he is not a millionaire.
That was a really
Chris
educational
and
show.
Kevin sitting in a tree.
Shut up, Brad. So anyway, that was a really, really good educational show. Although we got a lot of really good
It
comments.
was, if you ought to go back and watch that show, it was just like, it was Chris going, and then going, I love you, Kevin. I love you. Love you, Kevin.
You guys just pick on me. You guys just love picking on me. But Mike did end up getting on the show, and it went really, really well. It did. It
I
went
love you,
really
Kevin.
well. Quit,
He's so
Brad.
big and strong, Kevin.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Brad, leave Chris alone. That's for tomorrow night, not tonight.
Oh gosh, you always with a pertinent comment.
Oh my God! Leave it up the biscuit butt.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I think we'll leave it right there, right? What do you say before we get into any trouble?
Right.
So again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. And I want to thank the panel for spending some time with us. And stay tuned, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.